Anxiety is not a life sentence. It's a signal. It's your mind and body telling you something, but too often, that signal feels overwhelming, uncontrollable, and exhausting. Millions of people struggle daily with racing thoughts, tight chests, and restless nights. Yet few realize that anxiety can be understood, managed, and even transformed into strength. This book is not just another collection of quick tips. It's a guide to reclaiming your calm, step by step. Here, you'll learn how to understand your anxiety, master proven techniques to quiet your mind, and build daily habits that make peace your natural state. You'll discover tools that you can use anywhere, whether you're in the middle of a stressful exam, a crowded room, or lying awake at night with your thoughts spiraling. Control Your Anxiety promises you this. By the end of this journey, you won't just know how to calm yourself in the moment. You'll know how to reshape your relationship with fear, stress, and uncertainty. You'll come out stronger, more confident, and in control of your life. Chapter 1. Understanding Anxiety. Have you ever been walking down the street, lost in your own thoughts, and suddenly you see a shape on the ground that looks like a snake? Your heart leaps into your throat. You freeze for a split second, your body tenses up, and you jump back. Then you look closer, and you see it's just a coiled-up garden hose. What just happened? Your body reacted with full-on fear to a piece of rubber. That, right there, is your brain's ancient security system in action. And that system is at the very heart of what we call anxiety. Anxiety isn't some strange, foreign invader. It's not a sign that you're broken or weak. Anxiety is a natural, built-in human alarm system. Its only job is to protect you. Its job is to keep you alive. Imagine you were one of our ancient ancestors. The world was a dangerous place. Saber-toothed tigers, rival tribes, dangerous terrain. You needed a system that could shout, "Danger," and get your body ready to run, fight, or hide instantly. That system is what we now call the fight-or-flight response. And you, my friend, have inherited that exact same system. So let's talk about what really happens in your brain and body when this alarm goes off. It's not magic, it's biology. And understanding it takes away so much of its mystery and fear. Deep in the center of your brain is a tiny, almond-shaped part called the amygdala. Think of your amygdala as your very own personal security guard. This security guard's number one job is to scan everything happening around you, every single moment, and ask one question: is this a threat? It's not a thinker, it's a reactor. It's incredibly fast. When your security guard, your amygdala, thinks it sees a threat, whether it's a real tiger or just a garden hose, it doesn't stop to ask your logical brain for permission. It hits the big, red panic button. It sends a lightning-fast signal to the rest of your body, telling it to get ready for emergency action. And wow, does your body listen? A wave of chemicals, including adrenaline and cortisol, floods your system. This is the fight-or-flight cocktail, and it causes some very real, very physical changes. Your heart starts pounding. Why? To pump blood full of oxygen to your big muscles, your legs to run, your arms to fight. Your breathing gets fast and shallow. Why? To take in as much oxygen as possible to fuel your body. Your muscles tense up. Why? To make you faster and stronger, and to protect your vital organs in case of an attack. You might feel dizzy or lightheaded. Why? Because blood is rushing away from places it doesn't need to be right now, like your stomach and your skin, and going to your muscles. Your hands get cold. Why? Again, blood is moving to the core. Your body is preparing for potential injury, and it wants to reduce bleeding if you get cut. Your senses become sharper. Why? Your pupils dilate to let in more light so you can see the threat better. You become hyper-aware of everything around you. Isn't that incredible? Your body is a masterpiece of survival. Every single one of those feelings that we label as a panic attack or crippling anxiety is actually your body being a superhero. It's doing exactly what it was designed to do: save your life. But here's the modern problem. Our security guard, the amygdala, hasn't quite gotten the memo that we live in the 21st century. It can't tell the difference between a saber-toothed tiger and an angry email from your boss. It can't tell the difference between a physical attack and the thought. What if I fail this presentation? Or what if my friend is mad at me? Or what if something bad happens to someone I love? To your amygdala, a worried thought looks exactly like a tiger. It reacts the same way. It hits that big red button. So you're sitting at your desk, perfectly safe, and your body is having a full-blown survival reaction. Your heart is racing, your hands are cold, you're breathing shallowly, all to deal with a thought. This is what anxiety really is. It's your body's ancient, life-saving alarm system being triggered by modern, non-life-threatening worries. It's a false alarm, but oh, does it feel real? And when this alarm goes off again and again and again, it starts to affect your daily life. You might start to avoid situations that you think might trigger the alarm. You might feel constantly on edge, waiting for the next threat to appear. It can be exhausting, overwhelming, and can make you feel like you're losing control. But please hear this. You are not losing control. Your control is just being overshadowed by a very loud, very persistent alarm system that means well. Now, this brings us to a very important question. If this is anxiety, then what is stress? Are they the same thing? This is a crucial distinction, and understanding it will help you so much. Think of it this way. Stress is usually a reaction to an external pressure. You have a big deadline, that's stress. You're stuck in traffic and you're going to be late, that's stress. You have an argument with someone, that's stress. The cause is outside of you. And when the situation is over, the stress fades. You meet the deadline, the traffic clears, you resolve the argument, and you feel relief. Anxiety, on the other hand, is often internal. It's your reaction to that stress. It's the worry about the deadline, even when you're not working. It's the dread about the traffic jam that might happen tomorrow. It's the fear that the argument meant something bigger. Anxiety is the persistent, often future-oriented worry that sticks around even when the stressful situation is gone. It's the alarm bell that keeps ringing long after the fire is out. A little bit of stress is normal and can even be helpful. It can motivate us to get that project done. A little bit of anxiety is also normal. It's that flutter of nerves before a first date or a job interview. It's your body preparing to do something important. But chronic anxiety is different. Chronic anxiety is when the worry is constant. It's when the alarm system is so sensitive that it goes off all the time, for little things or even for no clear reason at all. It's like having a smoke alarm that goes off every time you make toast. It's not a useful alarm anymore. It's a nuisance that drains your batteries and makes it hard to live peacefully in your own house, your own mind and body. If you live with chronic anxiety, you know this feeling. It's the background hum of worry, the feeling of being on all the time, the difficulty relaxing, even when everything is okay. It can affect your sleep, your concentration, your relationships, and your joy. But here is the most important message of this entire chapter, so please listen closely. This is not your fault. You did not choose this. You're not flawed because your alarm system is extra sensitive. For some of us, it's genetics. For others, it's life experiences that have taught our amygdala to be on high alert. It doesn't matter the cause. What matters is that it is changeable. Your brain is not set in stone. It has a miraculous quality called neuroplasticity. That's a fancy word for your brain can change and learn new things. You're not stuck with an overactive alarm system forever. Just like you can learn to play the piano or speak a new language, you can teach your brain new ways to respond. You can teach your amygdala that the garden hose is not a snake. You can turn down the volume on that alarm. You can learn to thank your anxiety for trying to protect you, and then gently tell it, I've got this. You can stand down now. You are not at war with a part of yourself. You are learning to become the wise, calm leader of your own mind. This is what the rest of this book is about. It's not about eliminating anxiety completely. That would be like disabling your smoke alarm entirely, which isn't safe. It's about turning it from a shrieking, constant nuisance into a helpful tool that only speaks up when there's a real fire. You have already taken the first step by seeking to understand. That is huge. That is you choosing to be the leader, to be the one who understands the system instead of being terrified by the alarm. So, as we finish this chapter, I want you to try something. The next time you feel that familiar rush of anxiety the pounding heart, the tight chest. I want you to pause for just a moment. I want you to place your hand on your heart and say to yourself, quietly and kindly, "This is my body trying to protect me. This is my ancient survival system. It's a false alarm, but it means well. I am safe right now." You don't even have to believe it fully yet. Just try it. It's the first act of retraining. It's the first step in changing your relationship with this part of you. You are on a path. You are learning, and you're not alone. This is a journey of understanding, of compassion, and of reclaiming your peace. And I am so proud of you for starting. Take a deep, slow breath. A breath of understanding. A breath of hope. Chapter 2. Identifying your triggers. Think of your anxiety not as a monster, but as a very loud, very sensitive smoke alarm. It's designed to keep you safe, but sometimes it goes off when there's no real fire. Maybe you've just burnt some toast. Our job today is to figure out what's causing that toast to burn. We're going to identify your triggers. Knowing your triggers is like turning on the lights in a dark room. The scary shapes in the corner suddenly become just a chair and a stack of clothes. They lose their power. That's what we're doing today, turning on the lights. So get comfortable. Grab a notebook and a pen if you can. This is your journey, and we're going to map it out together. Let's start by understanding what a trigger really is. A trigger is anything that sets off your anxiety. It's like a switch that flips on that feeling of worry, panic, or fear. It could be a big thing, like a job interview, or a tiny thing, like a certain tone of voice. The important thing to know is that triggers are very personal. What triggers me might not trigger you, and that's okay. This is all about your unique experience. We can group triggers into 3 main categories: situations we find ourselves in, thoughts that run through our minds, and habits we've developed over time. We're going to explore all 3 together. First, let's talk about situational triggers. These are the external things, the events happening around you. It's like the world outside, knocking on your door and your anxiety answering. Common ones include big crowds, being stuck in traffic, financial problems, or conflicts with people. But it can also be subtler, like walking into a messy room or seeing a certain notification on your phone. I want you to pause for a moment. Just think back over the last week or 2. Can you recall a specific moment where your anxiety spiked? Where you felt that knot in your stomach or your heart start a race? Where were you? What was happening? Don't judge it. Just observe it. That situation might be a clue. Jot it down if you feel comfortable. Naming it is the first step to taming it. Now, let's go a layer deeper. Because often, the situation itself isn't the whole story. The real trigger is what that situation means to us. This is where our thoughts come in. Our thought triggers are the stories we tell ourselves about what's happening. For example, let's say your boss asked to talk to you unexpectedly. That's the situation. The thought trigger might be, "Oh no, I'm in trouble. I did something wrong. What if I get fired?" Those thoughts are what actually spark the anxiety. The meeting itself is neutral. It's our interpretation that lights the fuse. Our minds are amazing storytellers, but sometimes they write horror stories when a simple drama would do. We catastrophize. We imagine the worst-case scenario. We mind read. We assume we know what others are thinking, and it's usually bad. We use words like always and never. I always mess up. This never works out for me. I want you to listen to your own inner voice for a day. Just notice the stories it tells when you start to feel anxious. Is it a voice of fear, of perfectionism, of not being good enough? You're not your thoughts. You are the one hearing them. And once you can hear them, you can start to question them. Is that really true? What's another way to look at this? This is incredibly powerful work. The third type of trigger is our habits. These are the patterns we've fallen into, often without even realizing it. And these habits can actually fuel our anxiety, creating a cycle that's hard to break. Think about these questions. What does your morning routine look like? Do you grab your phone and immediately scroll through bad news? That's a habit that can trigger anxiety before you've even gotten out of bed. Do you skip meals or survive on coffee and sugar? Our bodies can't handle stress well when they're not nourished. Do you stay up too late, sacrificing sleep? Lack of sleep is a huge anxiety trigger. Even habits like constantly trying to be perfect, saying yes when you want to say no, or avoiding difficult conversations are all patterns that can set us up for anxiety. The good news is habits can be changed. Just becoming aware of them is a massive victory. Now, I want to guide you through a simple but powerful exercise. This is where we start to map your personal triggers. If you have that notebook, great. If not, just picture this in your mind. We're going to draw 3 columns. At the top of the first column, write situation. Here, you'll write the what. What was happening? I was in a long line at the grocery store. My friend didn't text me back. At the top of the second column, write thoughts. Here, you'll write the story you told yourself. This is taking forever. I'm going to be late. They must be angry with me. What did I do wrong? At the top of the third column, write feeling/body sensation. How did the anxiety show up? My chest felt tight. I started to feel hot and jittery. I want you to try to fill this out for one anxious moment you remember. It doesn't have to be perfect. There are no wrong answers. This isn't about blaming yourself. It's about understanding the chain reaction. Situation leads to thought, which leads to feeling. By breaking it down, we can see where we can step in and interrupt the cycle. Maybe we can change the situation, or maybe we can change the thought. You have power here. As we start to wrap up, I want you to feel proud of yourself. This is deep work. You're looking your anxiety in the eye and saying, I see you. I want to understand you. That is the bravest thing you can do. Remember, this isn't a one-time task. This is a practice. Be a curious, kind observer of yourself. Carry this awareness with you. The next time you feel that flicker of anxiety, instead of getting swept away, gently ask yourself, what just happened? What was the trigger? You're building a new relationship with your mind. You're learning its language. This knowledge is your tool, your superpower. You're not your anxiety. You're the one learning to understand it. And in doing so, you're taking back control. This is a journey, and you've just taken a huge step forward. Keep going. Keep mapping. Keep shining a light on those triggers. You've got this. I believe in you. Now, I want you to look at what you wrote down. Look at that connection. Situation-thought-feeling. Do you see how powerful that middle part is? The thought is the interpreter. It's the link between what happens and how you feel. This is our biggest point of power. We can't always control the situation, but we can learn to work with our thoughts. Let's try a little experiment right now. Think of a small, recent trigger. Maybe it's the one you just wrote down. I want you to try on a new thought. What's another way to look at it? If your thought was, this line is taking forever. I'm going to be late. Could there be another truth? Maybe, I can't control this line. I'll let the person know I might be a few minutes late. I can use this time to just breathe and be still. Do you feel how the energy shifts? The situation didn't change, but the thought did. And so the anxious feeling loses its fuel. This isn't about pretending everything is perfect. It's about finding a thought that is also true and that is more helpful to you. You are expanding your perspective. You are giving yourself options. This is a muscle. The more you practice it, the stronger it gets. At first, it might feel forced. That's normal. Your brain is used to taking the old, familiar path. We're building a new trail. Soon, it will become more natural. Now, let's talk about our bodies for a moment. Anxiety isn't just in our heads. It's a full body experience. Our bodies can be triggers too, and they can also be our greatest allies. Have you ever noticed that you feel more anxious when you're tired or hungry or haven't moved your body all day? That's because our physical state is a trigger. When our body is run down, our mind smoke alarm becomes much more sensitive. It's like it's running on a low battery and starts beeping at everything. So part of identifying your triggers is checking in with your body. It's asking, hey body, how are you doing? What do you need right now? This is a radical act of self-care. It's not selfish, it's essential. You cannot pour from an empty cup. I want you to try a quick scan of your body right now. Close your eyes if you feel comfortable. How are your shoulders? Are they up by your ears? See if you can let them relax down. How is your jaw? Is it clenched? Let go soft. Place a hand on your stomach. Take one deep breath and feel your hand rise and fall. Just that simple act sends a signal to your nervous system. Right now, in this moment, we are safe. The more you do this, the more you become familiar with the early, subtle signs of anxiety in your body. Maybe a flutter in your stomach, a tightness in your chest. Catching it early is like noticing a small wisp of smoke before the alarm goes off. It's so much easier to manage. Let's bring it all together. You're becoming the expert on you. You're learning the language of your triggers, the the situations that set you off, the thoughts that fuel the fire, and the habits that add kindling to it. And you're also learning the language of your calm, the new thoughts you can choose, the body awareness that grounds you. This is a practice, not a perfect. Some days will be easier than others. The goal is not to never feel anxiety again. The goal is to change your relationship with it, to hear the smoke alarm and say, "Thank you for trying to protect me. I've got this." It's just toast. You're building a toolkit. Every time you identify a trigger, that's a tool. Every time you challenge an anxious thought, that's a tool. Every time you take a deep breath, that's a tool. And you get to carry this toolkit with you everywhere you go. You're not alone in this. So many of us are learning these same skills. Every time you practice, you're getting stronger. You are rewiring your brain for more peace and more calm. Keep going. Keep noticing. Keep being that kind and curious detective of your own beautiful, complex mind. I'm so proud of the work you are doing. Trust the process and trust yourself. You've got this. I want you to think about your trigger map, not as a list of problems, but as a treasure map. X marks the spot, but the treasure isn't the anxiety. It's the freedom on the other side of understanding it. Every trigger you identify is another X on that map, leading you closer to a calmer, more peaceful you. Let's talk about something powerful, patterns. Right now, your anxiety might feel random and unpredictable. It just shows up and surprises you. But as you keep using your 3-column map, situation, thought, feeling, you will start to see patterns emerge. This is where the magic happens. You might notice that a lot of your anxious thoughts are about a specific theme. Maybe it's a fear of not being good enough, or a fear of something bad happening, or a fear of being judged. See if you can find a common thread. When you find that core theme, you have found a master key. Now, you're not just dealing with one trigger at a time. You're understanding the root of many of them. You can say, hello again, old friend, fear of judgment. I see you behind this situation. And just by naming it, you take away some of its power. Now, I have a challenge for you. I want you to think of one small, common trigger you identified. Maybe it's seeing a full email inbox or thinking about an upcoming chore. I want you to plan for it. This is called a preemptive strike against anxiety. If you know that checking your email first thing in the morning makes you feel overwhelmed, what is one tiny new habit you could try? Maybe you decide that for the next week, you will drink a full glass of water and take 5 deep breaths before you even look at your phone. You're not trying to eliminate the trigger yet. You're just building a small, calm space around it. You are inserting a pause between the trigger and your reaction. In that pause, there's freedom. In that pause, you find your power to choose. Let's also talk about the stories we tell ourselves about our anxiety. This is a big one. Sometimes we have a thought, and then we have a thought about that thought. I'm feeling anxious about this party. Ugh, why am I so anxious? I'm so weak for feeling this way. Do you hear that? The second thought just piled more anxiety on top of the first one. It's like adding fuel to the fire. So part of our work is to change that second story. What if instead we said, I'm feeling anxious about this party. That's okay. It's my body's way of trying to protect me. I can feel this anxiety and still go. I can be kind to myself right now. This is the difference between fighting your anxiety and accepting it. Acceptance doesn't mean you like it. It just means you stop wasting energy fighting it. You let the feeling be there, and you focus on your next right step. This is a superpower. I want you to try a little mantra. The next time you feel anxious, I want you to silently say to yourself, this is a moment of difficulty. I am okay. This feeling will pass. Say it with kindness. See how it feels. You are learning a new language, the language of self-compassion. It might feel foreign at first, but it is more true than the language of criticism. You are not weak for feeling anxiety. You are human, and you are incredibly strong for facing it, for learning about it, for doing this work. Keep filling out your map. Be a scientist of your own life, curious and without judgment. Every entry is a data point that brings you closer to understanding yourself. You are uncovering your own inner workings, and it is the most important exploration you will ever undertake. You have everything you need inside of you already. This book, this chapter, our time together, it's not giving you something new. It's just helping you remember the strength, the wisdom, and the calm that you already possess. You are simply brushing away the dust to reveal it. Keep going. I'm so proud of you. Trust yourself. You're the expert on you, and you're doing a fantastic job. Chapter 3: The Power of Breathing. Anxiety is powerful. It's complex. It's woven from our thoughts, our experiences, our biology. It is not something that can be solved by one single thing. So I want to be very clear right from the start. Breathing is not a magic cure. It is not about just breathing. It is not a switch you flip to make anxiety vanish forever. What is something different. It is an anchor. Think about a boat in a storm. The wind is howling. The waves are crashing. That storm is your anxiety. It's real, and it's powerful. You cannot stop the storm by wishing it away. But what you can do is drop a heavy, strong anchor. The anchor does not stop the storm. The storm may still rage around you, but the anchor stops the boat from being tossed around, from being smashed against the rocks, from capsizing. It holds the boat steady in the midst of the storm. Your breath is that anchor. When anxiety hits, your body and mind can feel like they're being thrown around in that storm. Your thoughts race, your heart pounds. Everything feels out of control. This is where the power of your breath comes in. It is not a solution to all the problems that cause anxiety, but it is a tool to help you find a point of control within yourself when everything else feels chaotic. It works because of a beautiful, built-in connection in your body. When you feel anxious, your nervous system shifts into its fight or flight mode. It's an ancient alarm system. Your breathing becomes fast and shallow to prepare you for danger. But here's the key. That system works both ways. By consciously taking over and changing your breath, making it slow, deep, and steady, you are sending a direct message back to your brain. You're using the body's own language to say, hey, I see the alarm, but I'm safe right now. You can stand down. You're manually pressing the button that calms the nervous system. You're choosing to drop the anchor. This is why techniques like box breathing or diaphragmatic breathing are so powerful. They're not just taking a deep breath. They're a structured, rhythmic way of sending that calm signal. They give your racing mind a simple, focused task, counting to 4, feeling the belly rise, which helps pull your attention away from the anxious thoughts and into the present moment, into the safety of your own body. It is a way of saying to yourself, I am here with myself. I'm not abandoning myself in this scary moment. I'm actively doing something to care for myself. That act of self-care, of reconnecting with your body, is in itself profoundly powerful. So, please, don't think of this chapter as offering a simple solution. Think of it as equipping you with an anchor. It is something you can always reach for, no matter where you are, to help you find your center and steady yourself within the storm. It won't make the storm disappear, but it will hold you steady until it passes. And that is a power worth having. This is about reclaiming a sense of agency. It's about knowing that even when anxiety feels overwhelming, you have a tool within you that can create a small but crucial pocket of calm. You're learning to be your own safe harbor, and that is an incredible step forward. You see, the true power of this practice isn't just in knowing how to do it. It's in the doing. It's in the repetition. It's in creating a new pathway in your brain, a well-worn trail that you can easily walk down even when it's dark and stormy outside. Right now, that pathway of calm might feel like a tiny, overgrown footpath. Every time you practice your breathing, even for just 1 minute when you're already calm, you are widening that path. You're cutting back the bushes. You're making it easier to find when you really need it. This is the difference between learning something and embodying it. We want this breathing to become as natural and automatic as your anxious response once was. We are building a new default. Let's try another powerful technique together. This one is called the 4-7-8 method. It's incredibly effective for slowing down a racing heart and quieting a racing mind. It's like a gentle break for your nervous system. Find your comfortable position again. Place one hand on your heart and one on your belly. Close your eyes if you feel safe to do so. First, part your lips just slightly and make a soft whoosh sound as you exhale completely through your mouth. Empty all the air out. Now, close your lips and inhale silently through your nose for a count of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Gently hold your breath for a count of 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now, exhale completely through your mouth, making that same soft whoosh sound for a count of 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That is one cycle. The long exhale is the most important part. It is the exhale that activates that calming part of your nervous system. It tells your body, release, let go. Let's do 2 more cycles together. I'll guide you. How does that feel? The counts might feel long at first. That's okay. It's not a test. It's an invitation to slow way down. This technique is like a deep, system-wide reset. It's particularly wonderful to use before sleep or in any moment where you need to signal to your entire being that it is time to rest and digest. Now, I want to talk about a very important idea, practicing on the sunny days. If you only ever try to use your breath when you are in the middle of a full-blown anxiety attack, it can feel like trying to read the instructions on how to build a raft while you're already drowning in the ocean. It's too late. The storm is too loud. The real magic happens when you practice these techniques when you are already calm. When you're sitting on your couch watching TV, practice 1 minute of box breathing. When you're waiting for your coffee to brew, take 3 deep diaphragmatic breaths. When you're lying in bed before you fall asleep, try the 4-7-8 method. You're doing 2 vital things when you do this. You are strengthening your calm muscle, making it stronger and more reliable. You are creating a strong association in your brain between the action of breathing deeply and the feeling of being calm. So when you do need to use it during anxiety, your body and mind already know the way. It's a familiar path. It's like a song you know by heart. You can hum it even when you're scared. You won't have to think about it. You could just drop into it. This is how you turn a technique into a tool. This is how you turn a tool into a part of who you are. You're not just learning to breathe. You are learning to return to yourself. You are learning that no matter how far out into the storm of anxiety you go, your breath is always there, a faithful anchor, waiting to bring you home to the calm that has been inside you all along. This is a practice of kindness, a practice of patience. Be gentle with yourself as you learn. You're doing something profound. You are reclaiming your center, 1 breath at a time. Keep this anchor close. Use it often. Trust in its power to hold you. You're doing so well. Think of your mind like a vast, beautiful sky. Sometimes, the sky is clear and blue. Other times, storms roll in. Those are your anxious thoughts and feelings. The storms can be frightening. They can feel all-consuming, like they will never end. But the crucial thing to remember is this: you are not the storm. You are the sky. The storms are just weather passing through. They are temporary. The sky, your core, peaceful self, is always there, vast and unchanging, beneath it all. Your breath is your connection to that sky. It is the constant reminder of what is truly you, underneath the passing weather of anxiety. When you focus on your breath, you're not focusing on the storm. You are shifting your attention to the eternal, calm blue that is always there. You are remembering who you are. Now, let's make this practical. Let's talk about weaving your breathing anchor into the very fabric of your day. You don't need to set aside hours. This is about micro moments of practice. It's about consistency, not duration. Here are a few ways to do that. The gateway breath. Make a promise to yourself. Every time you walk through a doorway, into your home, into your office, into the kitchen, you will take 1 single, conscious, deep breath. 1 full inhale through the nose, 1 slow exhale through the mouth. That's it. This isn't about stopping a panic attack. It's about creating dozens of tiny touch points throughout your day where you return to yourself. You are building a habit of checking in. The red light breath. Instead of gripping the steering wheel and feeling frustration rise when you're stuck at a red light, see it as a gift. It's a free, 60-second invitation to practice. Let your hands rest in your lap. Take 3 rounds of box breathing. Transform a moment of stress into a moment of peace. You are reframing your triggers into opportunities. The notification breath. This is a powerful one. So many of us feel a little jolt of anxiety when our phone dings with a new message or email. What if you decided that the sound of a notification would not be a trigger for stress, but a trigger for a breath? Let the ping be your reminder. Before you even look to see what it is, you take 1 deep, grounding breath. You insert a space between the stimulus and your reaction. In that space, you find your power. This is how we build a new life, not through 1 massive, overwhelming overhaul, but through tiny, consistent, loving actions, brick by brick, breath by breath. It's also important to bring a sense of curiosity and kindness to your practice. Some days, focusing on your breath will feel easy and natural. Other days, your mind will be like a frantic monkey, swinging from thought to thought, refusing to settle. On those days, the practice is not to force the calm, but to be kind to the chaos. If you try to breathe and your mind is racing, just notice it. Smile gently at your busy mind. You could even say to yourself, there's my mind doing its job, trying to protect me by thinking of everything. Thank you, mind. But right now, I'm just going to focus on this one breath. And then gently, without any judgment, guide your attention back to the feeling of the air moving in and out of your body. This act of gently returning your focus is like a rep at the gym for your brain. It is the most important part of the practice. It's not about having a perfectly empty mind. It's about the loving act of coming back. This is how you build the muscle of focus and the heart of self-compassion. Remember, you're not trying to become a different person. You're not trying to erase a part of yourself. You're learning to integrate all parts of you. You're learning to hold your anxiety with compassion, to listen to its message, and to use your breath to calm your body so you can address that message from a place of wisdom, not fear. You are becoming the loving parent to your own anxious inner child. You are learning to say, I hear you. I feel you. You are scared, and that's okay. I'm here with you. We are safe. We will breathe through this together. This is a lifelong journey of coming home to yourself. There is no finish line. There is only the profound and beautiful practice of returning again and again and again to the anchor of your own breath, to the truth of your own steady heart. You have everything you need within you already. This practice simply helps you remember that. It helps you access the calm, wise, and strong person you have always been. Keep going. Be patient. Be kind. You are doing the most important work there is. I'm so proud of you for showing up for yourself in this way. Trust the process. Trust your breath. Trust yourself. I want to introduce you to another way of thinking about your breath. Think of it not just as an anchor, but as a bridge between your mind and your body. Very often, when we feel anxious, there's a disconnect. Our mind is spinning in the future with worries about what might happen, and our body is reacting in the present with a pounding heart and tense muscles. They are both scared, but they're not communicating. They're just amplifying each other's fear. Your conscious, deep breathing builds a bridge between them. When you focus on the physical sensation of the air moving in through your nose, filling your lungs, and expanding your belly, you're pulling your mind out of the scary future and into the safety of the present moment in your body. You are giving your mind a single, simple, physical point of focus. And for your body, the slow, rhythmic breath is a message that helps its tension begin to melt. You are reestablishing communication. You are helping your mind and body get back on the same team, working together for your calm, instead of working against each other in fear. Let's try a very gentle technique that is wonderful for this. It's often called belly breathing or breathe and expand. Find a comfortable seat. Place your hands lightly on your lap, palms up. Close your eyes if you'd like. As you take your next slow, deep breath in through your nose, imagine that breath is traveling all the way down into your belly and then continuing down into your seat, right into the chair you're sitting on. Feel yourself becoming a little heavier, a little more grounded and connected to the support beneath you. As you exhale slowly through your mouth, don't force anything out. Just let the air leave naturally. Imagine any tension melting down through your body and into the floor. On your next inhale, imagine that breath filling your entire torso. Feel your lower back gently expand against your chair. Feel your sides widen. You're not puffing your chest up. You're creating space and width all around your core. As you exhale, just release. No effort. This kind of breathing reinforces that feeling of stability and support. It reminds you that you're grounded and safe, right here, right now. You're not floating away into the anxiety. You are here, supported and solid. Now, let's talk about what to do when it feels hard. When you try to breathe and your mind is screaming and it feels like it's not working. This is perhaps the most important part of the practice. In those moments, the goal shifts. The goal is no longer to achieve calm. The goal is simply to stay with yourself in the discomfort. It is to breathe with the anxiety, not against it. If your breath is shaky, let it be shaky. Just follow it. If your mind is racing, just notice the thoughts like clouds moving across the sky. You don't have to stop them. Just keep breathing. You're saying to your anxiety, you can be here. I'm not going to run from you. I'm going to breathe right here with you. This is the ultimate act of courage and self-compassion. You're not fighting yourself. You are holding space for yourself. And incredibly often, when we stop fighting the anxiety and simply allow it to be there, witnessed with kind breath, it begins to lose its intensity. It transforms. Finally, remember that this is your practice. There's no right or wrong. Some days you might need 5 minutes of box breathing. Another day, 3 deep sighs might be enough. Another day, you might just remember to take 1 conscious breath before answering a question. It all counts. Every single breath you take with awareness is a victory. It is a stitch in the tapestry of your new, calmer life. You are building a relationship with yourself based on kindness, presence, and trust. You are learning that you can be your own safest place. No matter what happens outside, you can always return to this inner sanctuary, this steady rhythm of your own heart and breath. This is a practice for a lifetime, and you have already taken the most important step. You began. Keep returning. Keep breathing. Keep remembering the vast, calm sky that you are. I am with you, cheering you on with every single breath you take. You are capable of incredible calm. It is your birthright. Claim it, 1 breath at a time. That space we create with our breath, that is where the magic of this chapter happens. In that quiet, calm moment, we have a choice. We have an opportunity. Today, we're going to learn what to do in that space. We're going to learn how to shift our thoughts. If the breath is the anchor that steadies the boat, then this work is about learning to navigate the seas. Our thoughts are incredibly powerful. They're the stories we tell ourselves about what is happening, and these stories directly create our feelings. Often, without even realizing it, we can get stuck in a loop of negative, fearful, and anxious thinking. It feels so real, so true. But what if we could learn to question those thoughts? What if we could choose new, more empowering ones? That might sound difficult. You might be thinking, but my thoughts just happen. I can't control them. And you are right. Thoughts do just pop into our heads. We can't always control the first thought, but we have absolute power over the second thought. We have the power to respond to that initial fear. Think of your mind as a beautiful, powerful garden. Right now, some of the most robust plants in that garden might be weeds of worry, vines of fear, and flowers of doubt. They grew from seeds that were planted a long time ago. Our work today is not to hate the weeds or get angry at the garden. Our work is to become the gardener. We are going to learn to identify the weeds, to gently pull them out, and to plant new, stronger, more beautiful seeds of hope, truth, and courage. The first step is simply to notice, to catch those thoughts. This is like standing in your garden and finally saying, "Oh, look, that's a weed." You can't change a thought you don't know you're having. So we become curious, gentle observers of our own minds. When you feel a wave of anxiety, after you use your breath to create a little space, just ask yourself, what was I just thinking? What story is my mind telling me right now that is making me feel this way? You might hear things like, something bad is going to happen. I can't handle this. They all think I'm a failure. I'm going to make a mistake and it will be a disaster. Just notice it. Write it down if you can. Shine a gentle light on it. You are not your thought. You are the one hearing the thought, and that gives you all the power. Now, here's the most important part. Once you have caught the thought, you get to check it. You get to become a detective for your own peace of mind. You take that thought to the courtroom of your mind, and you ask it a few simple questions. This is how we challenge our irrational fears. The questions are your superpower. Ask your worried thought, is this thought 100% true? Can I know for absolutely certain that it will happen? Usually, the honest answer is no, I can't be certain. And that cracks the door open for a new possibility. What is another way to look at this situation? If your thought is, this presentation will be a disaster, what's another view? It might be challenging, but I am prepared. Or, even if I'm nervous, I can still get my point across. See, you are generating new options. Is this thought helpful? Is it helping me feel calm and capable Or is it making me feel scared and anxious? If it's not helpful, you have every right to let it go. You can say, "Thank you, mind, for trying to protect me by predicting danger, but this thought is not serving me right now." This isn't about slapping a positive thought on top of a negative one. That doesn't work. This is about finding a thought that feels true and helpful. It might be a quieter, calmer, more reasonable thought. Finally, we choose to replace the thought. We plant a new seed. We take that old, fearful thought and we reframe it into an empowering one. From, "I can't handle this," to, "This is feeling really overwhelming, but I can handle it one step at a time. I have handled difficult things before." From, "They all think I'm a failure," to, "I have no idea what others are thinking, and it's none of my business. I'm doing my best, and that is always enough." From, "Something bad is going to happen," to, "I am safe right now in this moment. I don't know what the future holds, but I have the tools to meet it." Do you feel the shift in your body as you read those? The first thoughts create tension. The new thoughts create a sense of strength and possibility. You're telling yourself a new story. This is a practice. It is a muscle you are building. Some days it will be easy. Some days the anxious thoughts will feel very loud, and your new thought will feel like a whisper. Trust the whisper. The more you practice, the louder and more automatic that compassionate, empowering voice will become. You're not trying to never have a negative thought again. That's impossible. You're learning to not be ruled by them. You're learning that you are the author of your story, and you can pick up a new pen and write a new sentence anytime you choose. You have this incredible power within you. The power to question, to choose, and to change. You are becoming the gardener of your beautiful mind. Take your time. Be patient and kind with yourself. You are learning a whole new language, the language of your own strength. I believe in you completely. Let's begin. Now that we've learned to notice our thoughts and question them, I want to introduce you to one of the most powerful tools a gardener of the mind can have. It's called the thought record. This isn't about keeping a long, complicated journal. It's a simple, structured way to practice the skills we're learning. It makes the invisible visible. It takes those swirling, scary thoughts out of the dark corners of your mind and puts them on paper where you can look at them with kindness and curiosity. Let's build one together right now. Imagine a simple page with 4 columns. In the first column, we write the situation, just the facts. Where were you? What was happening? Be brief. For example, driving to work and hit traffic. In the second column, we write the automatic thought. This is the weed that popped up, the first story your mind told. Be honest. For example, I'm going to be late. My boss will be angry. This is a disaster. My day is ruined. In the third column, we write the feeling. How did that thought make you feel? Name the emotion and rate its intensity from 0 to 100. For example, anxious, 90%, frustrated, 80%. Now, here's the most important column. The fourth column is for the balanced or alternative thought. This is where you put on your detective hat and your gardener's gloves. You take that automatic thought to court. You ask it those questions we talked about. Is this 100% true? What's another way to see this? Is this thought helpful? Then, you write a new, more balanced, more truthful thought. For example, I don't like being late, but it's traffic and it's out of my control. I can call the office to let them know. My boss is reasonable and knows traffic happens. This is a frustrating delay, but it is not a disaster. My whole day is not ruined. It's just starting slower than I planned. Finally, go back and re-rate the feeling. How do you feel now after coming up with that balanced thought? You might write, anxious, 40%, frustrated, 30%, calmer, 70%. Do you see what happened? The situation didn't change. The traffic didn't magically disappear. But your experience of the situation changed dramatically because you changed the story you were telling yourself about it. You went from disaster to frustrating delay. That is the power you hold. This takes practice. It might feel clunky or forced at first. That's okay. You're learning a new skill. You are building new neural pathways in your brain. Every time you do this, you're making it easier for your mind to automatically find that balanced perspective next time. I also want to talk about a special kind of thought that causes a lot of anxiety. These are the what if thoughts. What if I fail? What if they don't like me? What if something terrible happens? Our minds try to solve these what if problems like a puzzle, but it's a puzzle with no solution because it's based on something that hasn't happened and probably never will. It's like trying to solve a mystery with no clues. It just leads to more and more fear. When a what if thought arises, try this. First, acknowledge it. Ah, there's my mind trying to protect me by predicting the future again. Thank you, mind. Then, gently bring it back to the present. Ask yourself, but what is true right now, in this very moment? Right now, you are safe. Right now, you are breathing. Right now, you are capable. If the what if feels very strong, you could take it one step further. Ask yourself, if that what if did happen, could I handle it? What would I do? This isn't about dwelling on the fear. It's about reclaiming your sense of capability. You realize that even in the unlikely worst-case scenario, you would find a way through. You always have. You are more resilient than you think. This entire chapter is about one profound idea. You have a choice. You're not powerless against the barrage of your thoughts. You can choose which thoughts to water and which to let wither. You can choose which stories to believe and which to gently set aside. This is how you build unshakable inner strength, not by never feeling fear, but by knowing you can meet your fear with truth and compassion. You are learning to be your own best friend, your own wise advisor, your own calm center in the storm. Keep practicing. Be patient. Be kind. Every time you question a worried thought, you are standing in your power. Every time you choose a more balanced perspective, you're building a new world for yourself, a world based on peace, not on fear. I'm so proud of you for doing this work. You're changing your life, one thought at a time. Keep going. Think about your mind for a moment. Your mind is always talking. It tells you stories about your life. Sometimes these stories are helpful, but sometimes these stories are full of fear. They tell you that things will go wrong. They tell you that you are not good enough. These thoughts can create so much anxiety. But here's the most important thing to remember. You're not your thoughts. You're the person who hears them. And because you are the listener, you have a choice. You can choose to believe the scary thoughts, or you can choose to question them. You can choose to change them. This chapter will show you how. First, we need to notice the thought. This is the first step. When you feel a wave of anxiety, pause. Take a gentle breath, and then ask yourself, what was I just thinking? What story did my mind tell me? Maybe the thought was, I'm going to fail, or something bad will happen, or everyone is judging me. Just notice the thought. Do not judge yourself for having it. Simply see it. Imagine you are catching a butterfly. You hold it gently for a moment to look at it. That is what we do with the thought. We hold it gently to look at it. Now, once you have noticed the thought, it is time to question it. This is how we challenge our fears. We take the thought to court. We ask it for evidence. Ask yourself, is this thought 100% true? Can I know for sure that this bad thing will happen? The answer is almost always no. I cannot be certain. This simple question creates a crack of light. It creates a door to a new possibility. Then, ask yourself, is this thought helpful? Is this thought helping me feel calm and strong? Or is it making me feel scared and weak? If it is not helpful, you have permission to let it go. You can say, thank you, mind, for trying to protect me. But this thought is not helping me right now. Now, we come to the most powerful part. We replace the thought. We take the old, fearful story and we write a new one. We find a thought that is more true and more helpful. For example, if your thought was, I am going to fail, your new thought could be, I am prepared. I will do my best. And that is always enough. If your thought was, something bad will happen, your new thought could be, I'm safe right now. I can handle what comes my way. If your thought was, everyone is judging me, your new thought could be, I have no idea what others are thinking. I choose to be kind to myself. This is not about pretending everything is perfect. It is about finding a thought that is balanced, a thought that is truthful, and a thought that gives you strength. This takes practice. Be patient with yourself. Your mind has had these old thoughts for a long time. It is a habit, and habits take time to change. Some days it will be easy. Some days, the new thought will feel strong. Other days, the old fear will feel loud. On those days, just whisper the new thought. Even a whisper has power. You're learning a new language, the language of your own strength. You are becoming the author of your story. You're learning that you can choose your thoughts. And when you choose your thoughts, you change your feelings. You change your anxiety. You change your life. This is a journey of courage, and you're already on your way. I'm so proud of you for doing this work. Keep going, one thought at a time. Now, I want you to imagine something with me. Imagine your mind is a path through a beautiful forest. For years, every time you felt anxious, you walked down the same path. The path of worry, the path of fear. You walked down it so many times that the path became deep and easy to follow. It became your automatic route. The work we're doing right now is about carving a new path. At first, this new path will be unfamiliar. It will be overgrown. It will feel much harder to walk on. Your feet will want to slip back onto the old, well-worn path of anxiety. That is normal. That is expected. But every single time you notice a negative thought and you choose to question it, you are taking a step on that new path. You are walking it. Every time you choose a balanced thought, you are clearing away the bushes and the branches. You are making the path wider and easier to see. At first, you will have to make a conscious effort to find this new path. You will have to look for it. But the more you use it, the clearer it becomes. One day, without even realizing it, you will find yourself automatically walking down the new path. The path of calm, the path of balanced thought. It will have become your new normal. This is the power of neuroplasticity. This is a scientific word that simply means your brain can change. Your brain can learn new routes. It is not fixed. You're not stuck. You are capable of building new habits of thinking that serve you better. Let's make this very practical. Let's talk about what to do in the moment. When a strong, negative thought hits you, and it feels completely true, try this simple 3-step process. First, pause and breathe. Just one deep breath. This creates a tiny space between the thought and your reaction. Second, label the thought. Say to yourself, that is my anxiety talking. That is not necessarily the truth. It is just a thought. This helps you separate yourself from the fear. Third, offer yourself kindness. Place a hand on your heart. This is a simple gesture of compassion. Say to yourself, it is okay to feel this way. I am here with myself. I am safe in this moment. You don't even have to change the thought right away. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is just not believe the scary thought. Just let it be there without fighting it and without letting it take over. You are saying, I hear you, but I'm not going to follow you down that path today. Remember, this is not about stopping your thoughts. Your mind will always have thoughts. This is about changing your relationship with them. You are moving from being a victim of your thoughts to being an observer of your thoughts. You are moving from being lost in the storm to being the calm sky that holds the weather. You're learning that you can have a worried thought and still be okay. You can feel anxious and still take a deep breath. You can be scared and still be brave. These things can exist together. You are that strong. This work is a practice of returning. You will wander back to the old path. We all do. The practice is in gently and with great kindness, guiding yourself back to the new one. Every time you do this, you're being a loving friend to yourself. You are building a foundation of inner peace that no outside circumstance can ever take away. You are discovering that the safety you've been searching for has been inside you all along. It is in your breath. It is in your ability to choose your response. It is in your courageous heart. Keep going. Be patient. Be kind. You are doing something amazing. You are rewiring your brain for peace. One thought at a time. I want to talk about a word you might have heard, mindfulness. It sounds complicated, but it is actually very simple. Mindfulness just means paying attention to the present moment, on purpose, without judgment. And that is exactly what we are doing when we work with our thoughts. We're being mindful. We are noticing our thoughts without getting swept away by them. We are noticing them without yelling at ourselves for having them. This is a skill of pure kindness. Think of it like this. Imagine you're sitting by a flowing stream. The water is moving quickly. On that water, leaves are floating by. Each leaf is a thought, an anxious thought, a happy thought, a memory, a worry. Usually, when an anxious thought leaf floats by, we jump into the stream. We grab onto that leaf. We get completely soaked and carried away by the current of that fear. We are lost in the thought. Mindfulness is learning to sit on the bank of the stream. You see the thought leaf, the worry, the fear, as it floats by. You notice it. You might say, there's a worry leaf, but you do not jump in. You let it float by, and then you see the next leaf and the next. You are aware of them, but you are not drowning in them. This is the peace we are cultivating, the peace of the observer, the one who sits on the bank, safe and dry, watching the water flow. Now, how do we do this in real life? We practice. We build this muscle of gentle attention. Here's a simple way to start. Set a timer on your phone for 3 times today. It can be for just 1 minute. When the timer goes off, your only job is to notice your thoughts. Don't try to change them. Don't get mad at them. Just notice what is on your mind. You can even say it softly. Thinking, worrying, planning. This is you, sitting on the bank, naming the leaves as they float by. This simple practice, done over and over, changes your brain. It teaches you that you are not your thoughts. You are the awareness behind them, and that awareness is always calm. It is always peaceful. It is always safe. When you know, deep in your bones, that you are that calm awareness, anxiety loses its power. A fearful thought might come, but it cannot shake your core. You can feel the fear, acknowledge it, and still feel the steady peace of your true self underneath. This is your goal, not to never feel anxiety again, but to know that anxiety is just a feeling. It is a leaf on the stream. It is a weather pattern in the sky of your mind. It is not you, and it will always, always pass. You are the sky. You are the stream. You are the aware, loving presence that holds it all. This is a lifelong journey of coming home to yourself. There is no finish line. There is only the beautiful, gentle, kind practice of returning to your breath, returning to the present moment, and returning to peace. You have everything you need within you. This practice simply helps you remember that. It helps you access the calm, wise, and strong person you have always been. Keep going. Be patient. Be kind. You are doing the most important work there is. I'm so proud of you for showing up for yourself in this way. Trust the process. Trust your breath. Trust yourself. You are capable of incredible calm. It is your birthright. Claim it, one breath, one thought, one moment at a time. I am here with you, every step of the way. Chapter 5. Building Daily Habits. Think of your mind and body like a beautiful garden. In the previous chapters, we learned how to pull the weeds of anxious thoughts. We learned how to calm the storm with our breath. Now, we're going to learn how to make the soil itself so healthy and rich that fewer weeds will grow in the first place. We're going to nourish your garden from the roots. Let's start with nutrition. The food you eat is the fuel for your entire body, including your brain. When you put good fuel in, your body can handle stress much better. Think about it like this. If you put sugary, processed fuel in a car, it will sputter and smoke. But if you put clean, high-quality fuel in, it runs smoothly. It does not have to be complicated. You do not need a perfect diet. Just think about adding in the good. Can you add one more serving of fruits or vegetables to your day? Can you drink one more glass of water? When you are hydrated and nourished, your body feels safe. It is less likely to sound the anxiety alarm. This is one of the kindest things you can do for yourself. Next, let's talk about sleep. Sleep is not a luxury. It is a necessity for mental health. When you are tired, your brain's alarm system becomes hypersensitive. It is like the smoke alarm is set to go off if it even sees a little bit of toast. But when you are well rested, that alarm system calms down. It can tell the difference between real fire and just toast. So how do we improve sleep? We create a gentle routine, a wind down time, maybe 1 hour before bed. You put away the bright screens. You could read a book, or listen to calm music, or do some gentle stretching. You are telling your brain and your body, the day is over. It's time to rest now. This is a gift of safety you give yourself every night. Now let's talk about movement. Exercise is not about punishment. It is not about having a perfect body. It is about releasing the energy of anxiety from your body. Anxiety creates energy. It tells your body to get ready to run or fight. When you move your body, you're using that energy for its original purpose. You are completing the stress cycle. You do not need to run a marathon. A simple walk outside in the fresh air is powerful. Dancing in your living room to one song. Stretching for 5 minutes. It all counts. You're shaking the anxiety out of your muscles. You're telling your body, we have used this energy. The work is done. Now we can rest. Finally, let's talk about journaling. Writing your thoughts down is like taking out the trash for your mind. It clears out the mental clutter. When anxious thoughts are swirling in your head, They can feel huge and overwhelming. But when you write them down on paper, they often seem smaller and more manageable. You do not need to write a novel. Just 5 minutes. You can write about what you are worried about. You can write about what you are grateful for. There is no right or wrong way. You're simply taking the thoughts from inside your head and putting them outside of yourself. This creates space and calm inside your mind. These 4 pillars, nutrition, sleep, movement, and journaling, work together. They build a foundation of daily calm. You do not have to be perfect at all of them all at once. That is not the goal. The goal is progress. The goal is to choose one small thing and then another. Maybe this week, you focus on drinking more water. Next week, you add a 10-minute walk. The week after, you try writing for 5 minutes before bed. Small steps create big changes over time. You are building a new life, one brick at a time. You are building a fortress of calm around your heart and mind. This is the most loving work you can do. You are worth this care. You are worth this effort. Every healthy meal, every good night's sleep, every moment of movement, every word you write. It is all an act of love for yourself. Is you saying, I matter. My peace matters. Keep going. Be patient and kind to yourself. You are building habits that will support you for the rest of your life. You are creating a calmer, stronger, and more resilient you. I am so proud of you for taking this step. You have got this. You know, the most beautiful part about this work is that it is not another item on your to-do list that you might fail at. This is different. This is about building a life that feels good to live in. It is about treating yourself with the same kindness you would offer to your very best friend. Think about those 4 pillars again. Nutrition, sleep, exercise, journaling. Do not see them as 4 huge mountains you have to climb all at once. See them as 4 gentle paths you can wander down, a little more each day. Let's start with nutrition again, but let's go a little deeper. It is not just about what you eat, but how you eat. When was the last time you ate a meal without looking at a screen? Without working? Without rushing? Anxiety lives in a state of rush, of hurry. When we eat quickly, we are telling our nervous system that we are not safe, that we are in a hurry, that there is danger. So a powerful habit to build is mindful eating. Just for 1 meal a day, or even for 5 minutes of one meal, try this. Put your fork down between bites. Take a breath. Notice the taste of the food, the texture. You are not just feeding your body. You are teaching your body what it feels like to be calm and safe. You are nourishing your nervous system with the experience of peace. Now let's talk more about sleep. Creating a bedtime ritual is like gently tucking your nervous system in for the night. It is a signal that the day is done. The work is over. It is time to rest and repair. Your ritual could be very simple. It might be washing your face and putting on comfortable pajamas. It might be making a cup of caffeine-free tea. It could be reading a few pages of a real book, not a screen. The blue light from our phones and tablets tricks our brain into thinking it is still daytime. It stops the production of melatonin, the hormone that helps us sleep. By creating a soft, dark, screen-free space before bed, you are gently guiding your brain towards sleep. You are saying, it is time to let go. I have done enough for today. Now, it is time to restore. This is a profound act of self-trust. You are trusting that the world will be okay without you for a few hours, and that you will be able to handle tomorrow after you have rested. Next, let's expand on movement. The goal is not to exhaust yourself. The goal is to feel good in your body, to remember that your body is not just a container for your anxious thoughts. It is a strong, capable vessel that can feel joy. What kind of movement did you love as a child? Did you like dancing? Swinging on a swing? Riding a bike? Try to find a way to bring that feeling back. It is not about calories burned. It is about joy found. When you move your body in a way that feels good, you release endorphins. These are natural chemicals in your body that fight stress and boost your mood. You are quite literally creating your own anxiety medicine for free. Finally, let's talk about journaling again. If the idea of writing down your feelings is scary, you can start smaller. You do not have to write about your deepest fears right away. You can start with a gratitude list. Just before you go to sleep, write down 3 simple things you were grateful for today. The warmth of your coffee, the sound of the rain, a smile from a stranger. This practice slowly, gently, trains your brain to scan the world for good things. It shifts your focus from what is wrong to what is right. In an anxious brain, is a brain constantly scanning for threat. A gratitude practice is the perfect balance to that. It is like weight training for your capacity to see joy. These daily habits are your armor. They are not heavy or burdensome. They are light, strong, and made of self-care. Every time you choose a healthy snack, you are putting on a piece of that armor. Every time you choose to go to bed a little earlier, you are strengthening it. Every time you take a walk or write down a grateful thought, you're making it shinier and stronger. No one else can see this armor, but you can feel it. You will feel it on days when things get hard. You will feel the strength of all those small choices supporting you. You will feel the calm you've been building from the inside out. This is how you take back control, not through force, but through consistent, loving care. You're building a life that is resilient, a life that can handle storms because it has deep, strong roots. You are worth every single minute of this care. You are worth the healthy food. You are worth the good night's sleep. You are worth the time to move and to write. This is not selfish. It is essential. Keep going. Start small. Be kind to yourself. You are not building a perfect life. You are building a peaceful life. And you're doing a beautiful job. I'm so proud of you, and I am right here with you. First, I want you to take a moment. Think about how far you have come. You have learned to identify your triggers. You have learned to use your breath to find calm. You have learned to shift your thoughts. And you have built healthy daily habits. You have gathered a whole toolbox of skills. You are stronger than you were when you started. Please acknowledge that. Feel proud of yourself. Now, the goal is to live your life using these tools. It is like learning to drive a car. At first, you have to think about every single step. Press the brake, turn the signal, check the mirror. It feels overwhelming, but with practice, it becomes natural. You just drive. You still know how to use the brakes, but you do not have to think so hard about it. That is what we are doing here. We're making these skills so natural that you just live your life. You use your tools without even thinking too much about it. But life has ups and downs. There will be days when anxiety feels strong again. This is completely normal. This is not a sign that you have failed. It is not a sign that you are back to the beginning. It is just a sign that you are human. A difficult day is just a difficult day. It is not forever. On those days, your job is not to panic. Your job is to be extra kind to yourself. Go back to your toolbox. What is one small thing you can do? Maybe it is 3 minutes of breathing. Maybe it is a short walk. Maybe it is writing down your thoughts. You do not need to use every tool at once. Just pick one. Take one small step toward calm. Preventing relapses is not about building a perfect life with no stress. That is impossible. It is about maintaining your foundation. It is about keeping your garden healthy, even when the weather gets bad. This means sticking with your healthy habits, especially when you are busy, especially when you're stressed. That is when you need them the most. That daily walk, that good night's sleep, that healthy meal, that is your foundation. That is what will hold you up during challenging times. Now, let's talk about living a fulfilling life. This is about looking forward, not backward. It is about building a life so interesting and full of meaning that anxiety is no longer the main character of your story. It becomes a minor character or just background noise. What does that life look like for you? What are you curious about? What did you used to love doing before anxiety told you to stop? Maybe it is painting, or playing a sport, or learning an instrument, or joining a club. Start small. Make a list of things that bring you joy. Then choose one thing and do it. When you do things you enjoy, you build confidence. You remind yourself that you are more than your anxiety. You're a person with passions and interests and strengths. Living beyond anxiety means taking calculated risks. It means doing things even when you feel a little scared, because you know you have the tools to handle the feeling. Each time you do something despite the fear, you build your confidence muscle. You prove to yourself that you can do hard things. You're not trying to become a person who never feels fear. You are becoming a person who feels fear and moves forward anyway. That is the definition of bravery. And you have that bravery inside of you. Finally, remember to celebrate. Celebrate your victories, no matter how small. Got through a difficult conversation? Celebrate. Went to a social event, even though you were nervous? Celebrate. Took a moment to breathe instead of reacting? That is a huge victory. Celebrate it. You are on a journey. There is no final finish line where you are declared anxiety-free. Instead, you will find that the waves of anxiety become smaller. They come less often, and when they do come, you know how to ride them. You have your surfboard. You have your skills. You're no longer afraid of the water. You're building a life of resilience, a life of purpose, a life of joy. You're not just controlling your anxiety. You are reclaiming your life, and you're doing an amazing job. Keep going. Trust yourself. You have everything you need. You are capable. You are strong. You are living beyond anxiety, one brave day at a time. I'm so incredibly proud of you. It's important to talk about what happens on the other side of anxiety. It's not just an empty space where fear used to be. It's a space you get to fill with everything that makes you. Think of it like moving into a new home. For a long time, anxiety was a loud, messy roommate who took up all the space. It dictated the mood, the schedule, the energy of your home. But now, you've learned how to set boundaries. You've asked that roommate to quiet down, to take up less space. Now, you have rooms in your home that are empty, quiet, peaceful. And the question is, what will you put in them? This is the most exciting part. This is where you get to discover who you are beyond the worry. This is where you get to define yourself not by your fears, but by your values. What is truly important to you? Is it connection? Is it creativity? Is it learning? Is it kindness? Once you know what you value, you can build your life around it. If you value connection, you can make a habit of calling a friend once a week. If you value creativity, you could spend 15 minutes a day doodling or writing. When your life is aligned with your values, it feels meaningful. And a meaningful life is a powerful antidote to anxiety. It's also about building a new relationship with yourself. For so long, the voice in your head might have been critical. It might have been quick to point out your mistakes and amplify your fears. Now, you can practice being your own best friend. You can talk to yourself with encouragement. When you make a mistake, instead of saying, "I knew you would mess up," you can say, "It's okay. Everyone makes mistakes. What can we learn from this?" This shift in your inner dialogue changes everything. It makes your mind a safe place to live. Living beyond anxiety also means embracing imperfection. It means letting go of the need to have everything under control. The truth is, life is unpredictable. It always will be. The goal is not to control everything. The goal is to trust yourself to handle whatever comes your way. This is the ultimate confidence. It's not the absence of fear. It's the deep, unshakable knowledge that you are resourceful, that you have a toolbox, that you have skills, that you have survived difficult things before and you can do it again. There'll be days when the old feelings creep back in. That's okay. It doesn't mean you've lost all your progress. It just means you're having a human experience. On those days, treat yourself with extra gentleness. Go back to the basics. Take a deep breath. Remind yourself that this is a wave and it will pass. You have ridden waves before. You can ride this one too. You're not just getting by. You're not just coping. You're building a life. A rich, vibrant, and resilient life. A life where anxiety does not hold the reins. You do. Every day, you are making choices that affirm this. Every healthy meal, every walk, every moment of mindfulness, every kind word you say to yourself, it all adds up. You are constructing a cathedral of calm inside yourself, one small stone of effort at a time. This is your journey, and you are the hero of this story. You have faced the dragon of anxiety, and you have learned its secrets. You have not slain it, because it is a part of you, but you have tamed it. You have learned to live alongside it, with respect and understanding, without letting it rule you. That is a tremendous victory. Carry that victory with you. Let it give you strength. Let it give you hope. You are living proof that change is possible. You are living beyond anxiety, and your life is going to be beautiful. An important part of this journey is understanding that progress is not a straight line. It's more like a spiral. You will sometimes circle back to old feelings, but you will encounter them from a higher, wiser perspective. You might feel a familiar fear, but now you have a new tool to meet it. You might face an old trigger, but now you have a deeper understanding of it. This isn't going backwards. This is integrating your learning at a whole new level. Think of your resilience like a muscle. Every time you use your tools, every time you breathe through the urge to panic, every time you challenge a catastrophic thought, every time you choose a healthy habit, you are making that muscle stronger. And a strong resilience muscle doesn't mean you never get tired. It means you recover faster. It means that when life knocks the wind out of you, you know how to find your breath again, and you get back up a little quicker each time. Living beyond anxiety means giving yourself permission to be fully human. It means allowing yourself to feel a full range of emotions: joy, sadness, excitement, fear, without any one emotion having the power to define your entire day. You learn that a feeling is just a feeling. It's a visitor. It's not a permanent resident unless you invite it to stay. This is also about connection. Often, anxiety can make us feel isolated and alone. It can convince us that we're the only ones feeling this way. A huge part of moving beyond it is to share your journey. This doesn't mean you have to tell everyone everything. It means finding one or two safe people you can be real with. Someone you can say to, "I'm having an anxious day today," without fear of judgment. When we speak our struggles out loud to a compassionate listener, they often lose half their power. We realize we are not alone. Finally, living beyond anxiety is about vision. It's about lifting your gaze from the immediate worry on the ground and looking at the horizon of your life. What do you see there? What kind of person do you want to be? What kind of impact do you want to have? What brings you a sense of purpose? Anxiety shrinks our world. It makes us focus on survival. A life beyond anxiety is about expansion. It's about moving from survival to purpose. Your anxiety may always be a part of your story, but it does not get to write the ending. You do. You are the author. You are the gardener. You are the builder. You have collected the tools. You have done the hard work of preparing the soil. Now, you get to plant the seeds of the life you truly want to live. You get to build a life not based on fear, but on hope, on connection, and on courage. Trust yourself. You know the way. You have everything you need. Keep taking one small, brave step after another. Your future self is already there, cheering you on. So proud of how far you have come.